Okay, hello, good morning, everyone. Or should I say good afternoon? Okay, I can see not everyone is here yet. Okay, late as usual. So anyhow, let us begin. What are we going to learn today? Okay, today we are learning about Form 4, Chapter 6. Okay, we are doing revision for Chapter 6. All right, so this is October week 3. Okay, this thing will take 2 weeks to do. All right, anyway, so let's look at our support, movement, and growth. Okay, sokongan, pergerakan, dan pertumbuhan. And as we know, our animal support system has 3 types. Okay, wow, it's 12:14 already. People are still not coming in. Very sadly. Okay, anyway, those endoskeleton system, rangka dalam, that means your bone growing inside you. And then you have your exoskeleton, rangka luar, that means you have your bones, not bones, shell outside you. Okay, yes, Stephanie, hello, good morning. Good afternoon. All right, so okay, we just started. Okay, endoskeleton, exoskeleton, and of course hydrostatic skeleton. That's when you have water inside you. You are like a water balloon. That makes you a hydrostatic skeleton. Okay, so anyway, let's look at what are they. So endoskeleton, mostly they are invertebrates. Your tulang belakang one, like your the 5 types law: mammals, amphibians, birds, reptiles, fish. Okay, the 5 types. So they are made up of internal bones and cartilage. What is your cartilage? Cartilage is your soft bone, which is your nose, okay, your ear, these are soft bone. Right, so function. Okay, this is pretty common sense to support your body weight so that you can stand up, to protect your internal organs so that when I punch you, I don't punch you in the organ, and then maintain body shape so that you are this shape, so that you're not a slime. Okay, and of course, basic attachment for muscles to move for body parts. Okay, have you realized something? Your meat, when you eat meat, let's say you eat chicken, meat are usually attached to bones because that's their function. Muscle is to pull on bones. That's why muscles are attached to bones. Whatever meat you eat, that's bone, right? So that's why. So anyway, your invertebrates, that would be that they consist of an outer layer of waxy chitin or shell. What is chitin? Chitin is the shell outside of prawns lah. Okay, like if you are very allergic to seafood, most likely you're allergic to chitin. Okay, I am. How do I know? Because I am. I'm allergic to chitin. When I eat prawn, I will just eat like no tomorrow. Okay, so most likely they are insects. Okay, exoskeleton. Funny how we eat prawns, but we don't eat insects. Actually, they're the same thing. Okay, so why do we eat insects? I don't know. Maybe culturally we don't. Culturally unacceptable. So anyway, the function is the same. Okay, support body weight, maintain body shape, support internal organ. Okay, base for muscle attachment is the same. All right, so hydro is when they have no skeleton, they have no hard shell or hard bones inside. They're just basically water. Okay, basically they just fill themselves up to make themselves firm. So they are usually very weak. You step on them, usually means they die. So they are invertebrates with soft body. They have muscular wall that encloses the body cavity that's filled with fluid. Okay, so the fluid exerts pressure on the muscular wall. Okay, in all direction causes the body firm. Okay, like your starfish, jellyfish. In fact, jellyfish is 99% water. They have only 1% of cell. So the function is to maintain and control body shape. Okay, and for movement, it doesn't protect the internal organ because there is no way. They are water. How can they protect their internal organ? That's why you see, most hydrostatic skeleton animals, they are either in the ocean or they are hiding somewhere. Okay, they are small and they are hiding somewhere. Like earthworm, they hide in soil so that they are not accidentally stepped on and die. Okay, so 3 types of skeleton, really easy. Okay, next let's look at our exoskeleton growth curve. This is one of the most important part. How do insects grow? Okay, how do insects grow? They are not like us. Our growth curve is kind of smooth because our bone just lengthen as we grow up. But insects, they can't do that because why? Here's the problem. Exoskeleton is made of hard chitin and they are unable to expand. It's like you have a hard shell outside you. You cannot grow unless you break that shell. Okay, so the exoskeleton will prevent the growth of animal. This is why they grow in stages. Okay, and the key point here, the stage where they don't grow, we call it instar. And when they break the shell and grow, okay, they will just grow massively in a straight line. We call it ecdysis. Okay, so they will just stop for a moment and then they will just grow. Stop for a moment, grow. Stop for a moment, grow. So they do like instar, ecdysis, instar, ecdysis, instar, ecdysis. So it's like a series of steps. Okay, instead of going in a smooth curve, because they can't, they have to break that shell. Okay, you can go and look on, search on YouTube. I'm sure they will put it there. All kinds of insects changing their exoskeleton. Okay, I've seen spider before. Okay, spider is not an insect, but you know, you get the point. Okay, it changes the shell before growing. It's disgusting for me. Okay, I don't know. I'm not a very big fan of insects. So I don't know. I just find this ecdysis process a little bit disgusting. Okay, that's basically how it looks like. Ew. Okay, disgusting. So anyway, so this is the growth curve lah. Okay, you have to know why can't they grow smoothly, because they have a hard outer shell, they have a hard exoskeleton. All right, next, hydrostatic skeleton and movement. This is your worm. Okay, this is also very important. So the key point here is your antagonistic muscle. Okay, antagonistic muscle. So worms, they have two muscles. Okay, they have two muscles and they work antagonistically. What does it mean? It means they fight each other. Okay, you look at the arm. Our arm is the same way. You see, this is the bicep. You learn this in human. But okay, I'll just let you know now. This is your bicep. This is your tricep. Here's the thing. Muscles can only pull. Muscles cannot push. That's why when my bicep pulls my forearm here, to push this thing back, I cannot use my bicep because my bicep cannot push. So I need to have another muscle on the opposite side to pull this thing back. So it's like two strings pulling. Okay, I cannot use string and pull, and then the opposite, I have no string to, I need another string to pull. I cannot use the string to push. So can you see they're working antagonistically? When my bicep contracts, shortens, my tricep will relax, lengthen, so that my arm goes like this. Okay, and then when this contracts, my tricep contracts, my bicep will relax, so my arm will extend. You see, they work in opposite. You cannot be both contract, then this arm will be like, oh my god, where did I go now? So no, you cannot be both relaxed because this thing will have nowhere to go. So you understand? So antagonistic means they fight each other. So you have two muscles here. You have your circular muscle, this one you need to memorize. You have your circular muscle and you have your longitudinal muscle. So what are they? Okay, imagine your worm being a balloon. Okay, because they are like a balloon. So what is the circular muscle? Circular muscle is like rubber band around the balloon. Okay, you imagine a balloon. You imagine a water balloon. You tie rubber band around the balloon. That's the circular muscle. So when circular muscle contracts, when the rubber band tightens, the balloon becomes long and thin. Right? I'm like squeezing. Circular muscle is to squeeze the worm. When I squeeze it, this thing becomes long and thin. Okay? Then the longitudinal muscle is like the balloon. You see, the balloon itself is elastic, right? You see, when balloon contracts, they become shorter and thicker. Now that's your longitudinal muscle. When longitudinal muscle contracts, your balloon will be pulled shorter. When it relaxes, it will be longer. So we have two muscles here. Circular muscle, which is the squeezing muscle. Longitudinal muscle, which is the balloon. Okay, so they work in opposite. So, okay, how do they move? How do they move? Okay, here's the thing. Look here. When worm moves, they will squeeze, become long and thin, and go forward. Okay, and then the forward part will hook onto the ground, and then they will become short and fat, like whoop, like that, so that they can pull the back part forward. So it's like long, thin forward. Okay, short, fat forward. Long, thin, short, fat. Long, thin, short, fat. So that's how they move forward. So to move forward first, to make the first part forward, excuse me, Okay, so to move the front part forward, they will need to contract their circular muscle. That means to squeeze the balloon. When they squeeze the balloon, they become thin and long. See, longitudinal muscle relax. So the balloon becomes long. Okay, and then when they are in front, they need to hook themselves to the ground. They use something called chete. Okay, chete. Why? Because you see, if I go forward, I don't hook myself to the ground. When I become short and fat, I'll just pull myself back. It doesn't make sense. It's like you crawling forward. You need to use your arm, you need to use your hand to hook in front so that you can pull your body forward. That's how worms they work. So they will hook here, and then now is to pull the back part forward, isn't it? Now the front part is forward already, ma. So how to pull the back part forward? So now the longitudinal muscle contract, which is the balloon will contract. Circular muscle relax, the squeezing rubber band relax. So now the earthworm becomes thick and short. Okay, so thin, long, go forward. Thick, short, pull the behind backward. Pull the behind forward. Okay, so again, thin and long, front part goes forward. Thick and short, back part goes forward. So that you see, the muscle works in opposite way. So just think of your, whenever, okay, students might get confused. Sir, which one is circular again? Which one is longitudinal again? Very easy. Circular is circular, what? Circular. Okay, it goes circle around the balloon. So when the circles tighten, you're like squeezing the balloon longer. Longitudinal, that's the long muscle. That's like along the balloon. When the muscle contracts, when balloon contracts, your balloon becomes shorter. That's as easy as it gets. All right, so that's the worm. Okay, moving on. Let's look at our function of endoskeleton. Let's come back to human. Okay, so endoskeleton has three parts. We have terrestrial vertebrate, aquatic vertebrate, and of course air vertebrate. That's your bird. So we have land, water, and air. All three, they are more likely the same. They have vertebrates, but they have a little bit of difference. For example, terrestrial, I'll just go straight to the point. Okay, terrestrial vertebrates like us, we have big, strong, and compact bones. Why? Because you see, in water, they have buoyancy. They have floating force. Do we have floating force? No. In air, they have air supporting them. Do we have it? No. We are experiencing the full force gravity. That's why we need very strong bones to support ourselves. This is why when you eat chicken, you see chicken bone is very small. But when you eat beef or lamb or pork, you can see the bone is very thick. Have you seen pig bones before? Okay, I mean Chinese we use it to make soup. You can see the ji guat is like very big one. Okay, so and then you have strong pectoral girdle and pelvic girdle. What is a girdle? Girdle is your frame. Okay, frame. Where is your pectoral? Pectoral is your chest. So pectoral girdle means the chest frame. What is the chest frame? Chest support. Girdle is the support lah. Okay, girdle is a support. Before you build a bridge, you need to build a girdle. So that's the support. So where's the chest support? Here lah. This bone, your collarbone and your shoulder blade. That's your pectoral girdle. This thing. Okay, so this thing supports your upper body. Okay, which is here, so that your upper limb, which is your arms, they can attach to your chest. Okay, they can attach to your chest bone here. Whereas your pelvic girdle is your hip support, which is here. Okay, which is here. So can you imagine this? The most important bone in your body is your vertebral column, okay, which is your backbone. You see, when I'm building a building, I build the column first. After I build the column, I will build the floors. Right? Let's say I'm building a terrace house. A terrace house got 2 floors. I build the column first, and I build first floor, I build second floor. So the first floor, the bottom floor, is your pelvic girdle, and then your upper floor is your pectoral girdle. So this is like building a house. Okay, I need to build a column first, and then I build the support. I build the horizontal support. Okay, so they are more important than you think. Without pectoral girdle, you wouldn't have your upper limb. You will not have your upper arm, your arms. Okay, and then your pelvic girdle. Without pelvic girdle, you wouldn't have your lower limb. You will not have your legs. So your legs are attached to your pelvic girdle, your arms are attached to your pectoral girdle. Without them, you wouldn't have limbs, you wouldn't have arms and legs. All right, and of course, your backbones, they are curved. Okay, your backbone is not straight, your backbone is curved. Why? Because when something is curved, they can support more weight. That's just the nature of it. That's why you see bridge support, they are curved. You don't see a straight bridge support. You see the frame is like a curve there. All right, so next, aquatic, they have small pelvic girdle and small pectoral girdle because they don't need them. Okay, they have buoyancy, they have buoyancy. Water can help them float, so they don't need strong bones. Okay, and same goes to birds. They have hollow bones so that they are light and strong, so that they can fly. Their job is to fly. They don't need strong bones. That's why all birds they have very weak bones. I mean, you look at gai fan, you go and eat gai fan, you eat chicken rice, you see the uncle when he chops chicken feet, the chicken bone, it's like one pop, the thing is broken. You try and do that to pork and see, you cannot do that. Can you chop pork bone? Can you chop beef? Can you chop mutton? No, you can't, because they are too hard. Okay, because they are terrestrial animals. Okay, make sense, Okay, moving on. Stability in animals. Stability relies on two things: center of gravity and base area. So the lower the center of gravity, the more stable. The higher the base area, the more stable. Think of a sports car. A sports car is usually very low and is usually very wide. Okay, because it's to lower the center of gravity and to increase the base area. All right, so what do animals do to do this? Tall giraffe, they will open their legs to drink water. This is to increase base area and to lower center of gravity. Kangaroos, since they are using only two legs to stand, that's why they have a tail. Tail sort of act like a strut. Strut is like a balancing structure. This is to increase base area. Okay, when they are not moving, they'll put their tails on the ground. Sort of to stabilize themselves, to increase base area. All right, so for human ones, you only need to know where is your axial. Axial is the middle. Your skull, vertebral column, your backbone, and your ribs and sternum, because your rib cage is attached to your vertebra. It's attached to your backbone. That's why these two are together. So this is your axial skeleton. We call it Ranker Paxi. Why do we call it axial? Axial means middle. And then you have your appendicular skeleton, okay, your Ranker appendage, which is your pectoral girdle and your pelvic girdle, and of course upper limb and lower limb, since your upper limb is attached to this, the lower limb is attached to this. Should you focus here? No. No, 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 no. Please don't focus here. You only need to know the names, that's all. Please don't go and save go and memorize the bones. You don't need to. Even biology, they have this chapter. I tell them, please don't go and touch the bone. It's not needed unless you're going for medical school next time. No, you don't. Don't waste time. You only need to know where is the axial, where is the appendicular, that's all. All right, and then for movement and growth for humans, okay, so you have these things here. You need to know what are they. So what is a joint? What is a sendi? Joint is where two bones they join together. Okay, a joint. So you have movable joint, okay, like your elbow joint, your shoulder joint, and then you have immovable joint like your skull. Do you know your skull got lines on? Those are immovable joint. All right. So when we talk about joint, we have to talk about ligaments and tendons. But of course, muscle. Muscle will move your joint. You see, like I said just now, this is my elbow joint. Okay. To bend my joint, which is called flexing. Okay, that's why they say, oh, weird flex. Why are you flexing? Flex means to close a joint. Okay, so to flex this, I need my bicep needs to contract, needs to pull my bone. So that's the problem. Muscle is to generate movement. That's all. Okay, and the more you train your muscle, the stronger they become. Okay, like I said, muscle is like a rope. It's like a tali. Okay, this tali is to pull on this bone. So the more you train your tali, the stronger your tali becomes. Okay, so what is your ligament and tendon? Okay, you can write this down. Simple. Ligament is to connect bone to bone, whereas tendon is to connect muscle to bone. Okay, muscle to bone. Okay, so where is your ligament? You see, this is my elbow joint. I have a ligament here. Okay, it's like a rubber band tying between two bones. It's to make your joint stronger. do you know you have ligaments in your knees? Your knee has 2 ligaments. Okay, and then your tendon, tendon is to transfer the force from muscle to bone. What do I mean? Okay, you see, let's say you have a car. Your friend has a car. You try to pull his car. What do you need? You need a rope. Okay, you need a rope, and that rope has to tie one end to your car, the other end to your friend's car, so that you can pull him. Right? So that's the tendon. The rope is the tendon. Your car engine is the muscle. So muscle will provide the movement, but this tendon is the link from your bone to your muscle. You see, my bicep pulls, right? My bicep is attached here and attached here. This is my car. This is my friend's car. So to pull everything together, this tendon, they need to connect both sides. Okay, so basically, tendon is to transfer force from muscle to bone. Okay, it's the middle guy between muscle and the bone. Okay, without tendon, you cannot pull. Without tendon, it's like you trying to pull your friend's car without a rope. If there's no rope, how can you pull his car? Right? Because there's no tendon. Okay, so you can actually eat this thing. Have you eaten this before? Sometimes when you eat chicken's drumstick, you eat chicken legs, when you tear the meat, and then there's the end there that looks yellow, and then the thing is very hard to chew. I mean, it is soft, but it is very elastic to chew. It's like rubber. That's the tendon. Okay, that's the tendon. Okay, so what is your synovial fluid and cartilage? These two, they are for your joint support. Okay, where is your cartilage? If you look at your chicken bone, okay, next time when you eat chicken wing, okay, you tear the bone apart, you will see at the end of the bone, there's a white color stuff on it. That's the cartilage. Okay, they act as a cushion because they are soft. Okay, yeah, they are a cushion. And then of course the fluid is like a lubricant. So these two, they sort of stabilize your joint. They will lubricate your joint, and then they will absorb the shock in your joint so that you don't feel joint pain. Bone and bones are not supposed to rub together. Okay, when your bone starts to rub together, you will use up your fluid and your cartilage. That's how you get arthritis. You know, it's arthritis, 关节炎, that's the swelling of your joint. Okay, swelling of the joint comes from rubbing. So these two will stop rubbing. But after years and years of using your joint for like 50 years, maybe by 60, you start to get joint pain, knee pain, back pain, shoulder pain, elbow pain, because your synovial fluid and your cartilage, they are beginning to wear out. Wear and tear. It's like your car, after years and years of using, you'll hear squeak coming everywhere. Okay, you go through bump, you hear squeak because the car joint is getting used. But a car spare part is always changeable. Yours is not. Okay, you cannot just replenish your synovial fluid. You cannot just replace your cartilage because there's no technology like that. So you just have to get used to it. So your joints will get used as you age. That's just a given. All right, so let's look at our problem related to joint and muscle. Okay, injury and muscle cramp, nothing to say. Arthritis is your swelling of the joint. You have two types of arthritis. You have your acute arthritis, which is very quick. Like today you exercise, tomorrow you get joint pain, that's acute arthritis. And of course, you have chronic arthritis, like long-term arthritis. Okay, long-term arthritis, that's when when you exercise for too long, for many years, you get knee pain. That's how you get chronic arthritis. Okay, yes, Jasmine, hello. Good afternoon. So we are at revision for chapter 6. Okay, anyway, so that's your arthritis. How about rheumatoid arthritis? Have you heard of that? Rheumatoid arthritis. That is what we call phong sap. In Cantonese, we call phong sap. When you are old, they say when it rains, wow, your joint gets painful. You know what is that? Actually, that's not the cause. Rain doesn't cause the joint to be painful. What causes your joint to have rheumatoid arthritis is when your white blood cell, they start to attack your joint. Okay, I know this sounds very retarded, so why will my white blood cell attack my own cell? That's the problem. That's why rheumatoid arthritis, not everyone has it. But if your immune system is very strong, they will somehow attack your joint when you're old. So you will get swollen joint because of white blood cell. Okay, that's your phong sap. You will have this, okay? When you're old, you just get joint pain. That's just a given. So what is osteoporosis? Osteoporosis is when your bone becoming more porous, more holes in the bones. Okay, it occurs when you're old because you start to lose calcium when you're old, especially in girls. Okay, do you know this? Girls, when you guys undergo menopause, you will lose a lot of calcium. When you lose calcium, that's when your bone starts to get brittle. That's why you need to drink that Anlene. Okay, that stupid advertisement. Okay, it makes no sense. After drinking Anlene, wow, this grandma can like just run and dance. Okay, it doesn't it doesn't happen like that. But it helps. Okay, it helps. But you take care of your bone when you're young. You don't say, oh, after menopause only I start to take calcium. It doesn't work. Okay, you need to take care of your calcium since you're young. All right, so career, read this yourself, not related, not important. So human growth pattern, I'll go into this next week. Okay, which is the growth curve here. I'll talk about this next week. All right, so let's go to our exercise, shall we? Okay, let's go into our exercise. Page 18. Okay, question 1. So, number 1, a group of students carry out an experiment to study the strength of bones. Diagram 1.1 shows two models P and Q. So P, okay, I'm going a bit fast. So P is made out of hollow cylinder that represents hollow bone, whereas Q is made out of compact cylinder that represents compact bone. So as you can see, wow, hollow bones they can support 6 bolts, whereas compact bone can only support 2 bolts. Do you know hollow is always stronger? Okay, if you don't believe me, you go and buy a PVC pipe. You buy a PVC pipe. PVC pipe is empty inside, right? You try and bend the thing will not break because it's hollow. Hollow is stronger. But if you fill the thing with cement, you put cement and dry inside, you bend the thing will just snap into half very easily. So that's why hollow is always stronger than compact. Okay, this is why most building structures are inside the steel, they are always empty. Okay, hollow is always stronger. Okay, contrary to your belief, you might think that, oh, compact isn't compact stronger. Just because it's fuller doesn't mean it's stronger. Okay, I studied this like hell when I was in engineering. Okay, so if you look at those bridges, all these steel structure, do you know they're empty inside? They are supposed to be empty. Not only it saves cost, it also makes the bridge stronger. Okay, so A1, state one observation for this experiment. So what can you see? So we can say hollow cylinders. Okay, hollow cylinder supports more bolts than compact cylinder. Okay, so your cylinder berongga, is it? Yeah, berongga. Cylinder berongga. Okay, mampu menampung lebih banyak buku. Ini sih sudah salah daripada silinder padat. Okay, daripada silinder padat. Okay, I'm just too lazy to write lah. My hand hurts from writing so many days already. Okay, so number 2, state one inference. So explain. How can you explain? Okay, the answer might sound very stupid because hollow cylinder. Why can it support more bolt? Because it is stronger lah. It's stronger than compact cylinder. Okay, why can you carry more weight? Because you're stronger, lor. Well, yeah, no shit. Okay, thanks, Sherlock. But hey, that's the answer. Okay, obviously. Okay, so cylinder berongga lebih kuat daripada cylinder padat. No lah, this kind of answer is like really stupid. Like you don't say. Okay, so B. State the constant variable. What is the CV in this experiment? So many things you can write. You can say the number of cylinder, both needs to be 4. The diameter of the cylinder. Okay, the height of the cylinder. Okay, even the measurement of the cylinder, whatever. Okay, write yourself. You only need one. Okay, you only need one. Okay, size of cylinder. The most obvious would be the number of cylinder. It cannot be like one is 3 cylinder, one is 4 cylinder. That's not accurate already. Okay, so C. Based on the experiment, say the operational definition of strength of bone. Okay, here we go again. So I really hate this. So do I. I don't blame you. Okay, so how do you define strength of bone? Strength of bone is like the strength of cylinder, right? Because the cylinder here represents the bone. So how do you define something? Okay, defining something is easy. But defining something as operationally, okay, if it makes any sense to you. So definition, you know. Operational definition is what? Operational definition means based on your observation. Okay, based on what you see. So what is the strength of cylinder here? The strength of cylinder depends on the number of exercise book that can be supported, right? Okay, so if they ask you, what is the operational definition for the strength of cylinder? Strength of cylinder is the number of exercise book that can be supported. Everything is based on the observation. So same thing here. What is the strength of bone? Okay, strength of bone is the amount of weight that can be supported by the bone. So kekuatan tulang adalah jumlah berat. The keyword is the jumlah berat yang boleh ditampung atau disokong oleh tulang. Okay, menampung lah, ditampung. How much they can tahan. Okay, so definition is normal definition, but operational definition is the definition based on your observation. Okay, I know there's no one way to say this. There's no one way to do this. You just have to practice more. But hey, 1 mark. Okay, don't stress yourself over this 1 mark. Okay, anyway, so D, this is a truss bridge. In your opinion, why are bridge trusses made out of hollow structure? Because it can support more weight, obviously. Okay, it can support heavier load. Okay, or because simply it is stronger. Okay, well, I don't know what else do you expect. Boleh menampung berat yang lebih banyak or lebih kuat. Okay, practice yourself. Okay, I'm just keeping everything short. I'm not. One thing is I'm lazy, but another thing is I'm trying to get as many questions done as possible, so I'm not going to write too long. Okay, moving on. I'm just going to write some keywords here. Okay, so this is a grasshopper. So day 1 to day 4, 5 to 9. Okay, blah, blah, blah. So the length of the grasshopper, okay, do this yourself. Okay, I cannot measure for you because my paper and your paper might be different size. Okay, so plot the growth curve of the grasshopper. Okay, make sure you plot it like this. Make sure you plot it like this. And then when you plot your dots like that, please don't draw one straight line because insects, they don't grow in straight line. They have to be like this, 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 this. Remember the X is at the flat line here. Because the value you plot is when they don't grow. When they are still in a steady state, they are not growing. So it's like a step. So why does the growth curve of grasshopper have such pattern in B? What does it look like this? Because it has a hard exoskeleton. Okay, it has a hard exoskeleton that does not expand. Okay, ia mempunyai rangka luar yang tidak berkembang. Okay, it has a hard exoskeleton that doesn't expand. So that's why they need to break the exoskeleton before growing. Okay, the BM you write yourself. I'm too lazy for that. Okay, anyway, so number 3, this would be your green bean. Okay, so this one I plot for you. Okay, so 0, 0, 1, 0.5, 2, 1, 3, 2.5, 4, 4, 5, 5.8, 6.5. I'm just guessing. 7, 8, 7. So you've got a freehand this, guys. Please don't use ruler. Graph will look like this. Okay, so why is there a sharp increase here? This is what we call a rapid growth phase. When you're undergoing puberty, this is it lah. Okay, at the beginning you grow very slowly, at the end you grow very slowly. Why? Because at the beginning you are still getting used to the environment. Once you got used to it, your growth will just spike very fast. And then why is it stopping here? Because it's when you reach adulthood. This is where you are finished growing. In fact, human has two rapid growth phase. That is when you are in infant stage, when you're a baby, and then you will slow down around primary school, and then in teenage you grow fast again. Slow down. So human has two growth phases. Okay, one is in infancy, another one is in your teenage. So we do it twice. So this is why human is more complicated to study, because we are one of the few organisms that do two rapid growth phase. Other simpler animals like dogs or cats, they just grow it like once. That's it. Okay, like even this green pea here, they only grow it once. Rapid growth once. So say the relationship between height of seedling and time. Okay, so height increase as time increase. Okay, write this yourself. Okay, you can say height of seedling increase with time, also can. Ketinggian biji benih meningkat dengan masa. In terms of time, I don't like to write the more time, the higher the height of seedling, because what does it mean? What does it even mean by more time? No, you don't say that. You just say as time goes on, height increase. So the simplest way to say it is height increase with time. Okay, ketinggian meningkat dengan masa. So C, what is your MV? Manipulated variable, what are you trying to control? That will be your time, masa. Okay, your time, and then you're responding your RV, that will be the height of your seedling. How high do they grow? Okay, this is pretty easy. So as I say, can you see this is section 1? Can you see this is section 1? Section A, even you don't study, you can also do one. Right? You're just stating your observation, stating your variable, stating your operational definition, things that you can do even if you don't study. I don't think I need to tell you to study. You also can use ruler to measure this thing. You can still plot graph. So this is section A. So section B, this is the part you need to study. This one you cannot like cheat already. If you know, you know. If you don't know, means you don't know. So number 4, diagram below shows the classification of animal based on their support system. Okay, so we have your vertebrates here, which is the endoskeleton. You have your invertebrate, that's your hydrostatic. Of course, this is exoskeleton. Okay, truncal luar. So give one example of animal that falls under category name in A1. So who is endoskeleton? You have your spider law. Okay, you can even say whatever insect lah. You want to say beetle also can. Okay, any insects will do. Grasshopper, they're all exoskeleton. Anyway, B shows an animal that has no backbone. Okay, this is a hydrostatic. So this animal is not able to survive in dry soil for a long period. Active explanation. Okay, here's the thing. For insects with exoskeleton, they have a layer of wax outside. Do you know that? Do you know bees have a layer of wax outside them? We call it beeswax, fong la. The wax they use from bee, okay, they use the wax to make their beehive. Beeswax can be used to make candle, can be used to make your hair gel. So they have wax. All insects, they have wax outside. But this one, hydrostatic, they don't have any wax. So water will just evaporate from their skin. They will just die because of dehydration. Okay, so cannot survive in dry soil because water evaporates, okay, from them. Okay, so because they have no waxy layer. water evaporates from them. Okay, air menjat. Or you can say water is lost by evaporation. So can air dihilang melalui penjatan. So they can, when they evaporate their water, then they die. So how do they survive? What adaptations made by this animal to the condition mentioned in B1? So how do they handle this problem? This is why earthworm, they stay in wet soil. Okay, berada dalam tanah lembab. You don't see earthworm in dry soil. Those yellow color dry soil, you don't see earthworm there. Whenever there's earthworm, you know this is organic soil. This is like compost. You have dead animals down there. They can just break down the stuff. So that's your earthworm. Okay, so they can stay. They stay in wet soil to stop dying. Same goes to snail. Same goes to leeches. You know leeches, linta, the thing stick on your skin and suck your blood one. They cannot stay in, you know, sunny area because they can just dry up and die. So they need to stay in shade, okay, in somewhere that has no sun and somewhere that is wet. And you get a lot of worm. Okay, so C, this is an aquatic animal that has no endoskeleton or exoskeleton. Can this animal move freely on land? No. Okay, explain your answer. You can say because it has no muscle. Okay, the other author, because movement is produced by muscle. So since they have no muscle, then how can they move? Okay, that's a jellyfish. Like I said, jellyfish is 99% water. They have only 1% of cell. Okay, so number 5, this is a crocodile and a scorpion. Obviously, this is crocodile is your endoskeleton. Scorpion is exo. Rangka dalam, rangka luar. Name the substance that makes up the skeleton. So endoskeleton is bone. What is bone made of? Bone is made of calcium and phosphorus. Okay, calcium, DM is phosphorus. How about scorpion? Scorpion, the one is made from chitin. Okay, chitin. Can you actually eat this chitin? Yes, you can. That's why when you eat crab, when you eat, not crab, when you eat prawn, you can actually eat it together with the shell. But it will be a very unpleasant eating experience. So, I mean, if you're just too lazy, you can. Okay, so next C, this will be your animal M and N. So they are both hydro. And they're both hydro. So identify two similar characteristics. Basically, what is the characteristic of hydro? Okay, and then give another example of animal that's the same characteristic. So, about them, what's their characteristic? What's the characteristic of hydro? Okay, their body cavity is filled. Okay, rongga badan dipenuhi cecair. Body cavity is rongga badan. What does it mean by body cavity? Body cavity is the empty space inside your body. Cavity means empty space. If you have cavity in your teeth, that means that it's rotten. Now, rongga badan dipenuhi cecair. Okay, is surrounded. You can say surrounded by muscular wall. Dikelilingi dinding otot. Basically, they're like a water balloon. The balloon is the muscular wall, and then inside is the fluid. So another example that is like this, you have your leech law, guitar. Okay, so 3 marks here. Anyway, move on. Moving on, let's go to number 6. So what type of organism has the growth curve as above? So that would be our invertebrates. Okay, invertebrata. And based on diagram above, what is stage X? Okay, the not moving stage is called insta. Y, which is the growing one, we call ecdysis. That's when they break their shell. State the characteristic of the external skeleton of the organism. Okay, it is waxy, hard, Berlin, keras. So two function of the external skeleton, okay, is to protect organ, melindungi organ dalaman, okay, internal organ, support body weight, okay, menyokong berat badan, for attachment of muscle untuk pelekatan otot, to maintain body shape, mengekalkan bentuk badan, can. So there's 4 functions for skeleton. Okay, endo and exo is the same. So next, question 7. Okay, you have your appendicular skeleton here. That will make this an axial skeleton. Okay, the center one. And you see, you don't know, skull, your vertebral column, which is the backbone, and of course, your rib cage. And then your pectoral girdle, this will be a pelvic girdle, which is a hip. Okay, pelvic girdle is very important for girls. Okay, that's why girls have bigger butts, because your pelvic girdle is bigger. You know why? Because you need that to support your baby next time. When you get pregnant next time, your pelvic girdle is the one that supports your baby. That's why girls have bigger butts. That's why guys look for bigger butts in girls. It's not that we are shallow, because we are biologically programmed to do so. Why do we look for bigger butts? If a girl has bigger butts, she can support a baby better, more chance of survival. Okay, it's like, why is a girl attracted to a taller guy, to a more athletic guy? Because back when Paleolithic times, if you're taller, if you're more athletic, you're more muscular, it makes you a better hunter. Would you marry a guy that cannot hunt, that makes you hungry? No, you would marry someone that is a better hunter. They can give you food. So it's the same. Why do guys look at bigger breasts and bigger hip? Because bigger breast means I can feed the child better. Bigger hip means she can carry the child better. This is biology. Okay, so you don't say, yeah, why is the guy so shallow? Guys only look at butts and boobs, because we are biologically programmed to do so. Okay, you cannot deny biology. I hate to say it, but that's the truth. Okay, so anyway, identify X and Y. So X is your axial skeleton. Okay, your Ranke maxi. And then the Y is your pelvic girdle. Okay, lengkungan. Okay, lengkungan pelvis. Okay, I don't know about you girls lah, but in Western countries, girls are very obsessed with their breasts and hips. That's why breast enlargement surgery is the most common plastic surgery in the world. You know this? By far. By far. Okay, breast enlargement surgery is number 1. If I'm not mistaken, second is rhinoplasty. Rhinoplasty is nose. Okay, nose surgery. A nose job is like the second most common, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, number 1 is for sure breast. Okay, that's what all women want. Okay, they want bigger breasts. Even it's like very big already, they still want to make it bigger. Okay, not lips. Lips also one of it. Okay, I think you mean both the collagen injection, right? That is also one of it. Okay, but no, nose is more common. Nose is more common, especially in Korea, because we Asians are born with a very flat nose. So to make the nose more 3D, people will tend to go for rhinoplasty. Okay, go and look for the statistics. I'm not lying. Okay, nose is more common than lips, because we Asians, we are not so obsessed with the thick lips. It's not really our thing. Okay, I mean, you know Angelina Jolie, right? Okay, for many Western people, she looks very attractive, but for me, she's like me. I don't really like girls with very thick lips. I don't find the attraction. Okay, you don't need to be very thick. I mean, thin lips can be sexy too. I don't guess what's the obsession with very thick lips. I just don't find it attractive. Okay, anyway, so what's the function of Z? Okay, that's your rib cage lah. Is to protect your lungs. Melindungi paru-paru. So when I punch your lung, I don't just punch straight to your lung. And then what is the function of Y? Okay, so what's the function of your pelvic girdle? Is for the attachment of lower limbs. Okay, untuk percantuman your anggota belakang. Okay, so that your lower limb can stick to it. So at birth, humans have 275 bones. Again, the number decreased. How many bones does an adult have? Okay, you don't need to know this, but a human adult has 206 bones. Explain, because smaller bones fuse into a single stronger bone. Okay, tulang-tulang kecil bercantum menjadi satu tulang besar dan kuat. Okay, so you have like maybe 5 bones fusing together to become a stronger, bigger bone. That's why your number of bones actually decrease. More bones doesn't mean better. You need strong bones. You don't need more bones. All right, so next, number 8, this is your stability already lah. One factor that affects stability, that's your center of gravity and your base area. Okay, pusat gravity dan luas tapak. Okay, this is luas tapak. So B1, explain how animal K maintains its body stability when drinking water. Open its legs. Okay, membuka kakinya. How L maintains body stability. So it will put its tail on the ground. Standing. Okay, meletakkan ekornya di tanah apabila berdiri. Okay, sorry for not writing DM, I'm just too lazy. So C, between animals K and M, which is more stable? Of course, M. Okay, because it has lower COG. Okay, pusat gravity lebih rendah. Okay, can you imagine why giraffe exists but unicorn doesn't exist? Okay, sometimes biology makes no sense. I was just telling my wife the other day, what makes more sense to you? A horse with a horn or a 10 feet neck tall deer? Basically, a giraffe is a deer. It's a long neck deer. A deer with a 10 feet long, like a 300 cm, what, 10 feet is like what? Yeah, 3 meter. 3 meter long neck deer. Okay, which makes more sense to you. Okay, so I don't get why unicorn doesn't exist, but giraffe exists. Okay, unicorn makes more sense. It's just a horse with a horn. Okay, anyway, so this is okay, this is a base. So you're asked to modify the base to make it more stable. You're supplied with super glue, wooden block, and some small stone. Okay, sketch a modification. Okay, so how can you do this? How do you lower the center of gravity and how do you make the base area bigger? So you can just take your base, stick to a wooden block. Okay, this is your super glue. See, now you increase the base area. So how do you lower the center of gravity? You put stones inside. Okay, so this one will lower your center of gravity. This one will increase your base area. Okay, so this will be your stone, your wooden block. Wow, like that 3 marks. Wow, so easy, man. Okay, that's good then. All right, so the next one, your endoskeleton structure of 2 different animals. Of course, this is your bird. As you can see, there are small bones, and the bones are hollow. This one, you see the pectoral girdle and the pelvic girdle is so small. This is obviously a whale. So give one difference between endoskeleton structure of 7.1 and terrestrial vertebrate. For terrestrial, man? Is this terrestrial? Is this supposed to be an ostrich or something? Okay, fine, whatever. It has a bigger pectoral girdle. Oh, no, no, no. They are not comparing to 2, sorry. They just want this and maybe an elephant. Okay, so 7.1 has smaller pectoral. Okay, and pelvic girdle. Okay, mempunyai lengkungan pelvis dan pectoral yang lebih kecil. Okay, what else? It also has smaller bones. Okay, smaller bones. Or bigger body size also can. Tulang yang lebih kecil, size badan yang lebih besar because they're buoyancy. They're floating pods, so they don't need. You see, all the bones are, yes, a whale's bone is very big, but you compare the density, a whale's bone will be lighter than an elephant's bone because elephant they need to stand up. This thing don't need, they can just jump into the water, they will just float already. A smaller bone, or you can say bone with lower density. Okay, tulang yang kurang tumpat. So say the function of the wide sternum bone at the skeletal structure is 7.2. Okay, what is sternal bone? Sternal bone is this chest bone here. Do you know for chicken, for birds, this bone is very important. Why? Because this is where your chest muscle is attached to. You see, when you do this, let's say imagine you're a bird. You do this. Can you see? You feel your chest muscle? Can you feel it moving? That's how they fly. For a bird, no muscle is more important than their chest muscle, the breast muscle, the breast. That's why eating chicken breast is very dry because it's all muscle. There's no fats here. It's all muscle. Especially you eat kampung chicken, oh my goodness, this is like chewing rubber band because kampung chicken can really fly. They are very muscular here. So when muscle is very muscular, that makes it very hard to chew lah. Okay, so what's the function of the sternum bone? For the attachment of pectoral muscle. Okay, untuk pelekatan otot pectoral. Pectoral muscle is the chest muscle lah. See, girls are okay. This is also statistic. Girls are number one most attracted to abs. Okay, six-pack abs. You don't tell me, oh sir, I'm not that shallow. I don't like six-pack abs. Like I like tummy. Stop lying. Okay, if you have the same guy, two guys, after you are one with a six-pack and one with a fat belly. Of course, you will want a six-pack one. Okay, so six abs is the most attractive for guys. Second is chest muscle. Okay, if a guy has a big chest muscle, it has a chest line there. That's the most attractive muscle to a girl. Okay, that's just statistics. Okay, I'm not making this up. Third, if I'm not mistaken, is shoulder. Third is shoulder. If you have a very broad shoulder, it makes you very manly. That's the third most sexy muscle. Okay, the most not important muscle is the leg muscle. Because nobody looks at them. Okay, anyway, so I think I'm going to stop here. So next week we shall continue on this. Next week we will go into growth. Okay, the muscle will finish this, and then next week we will go into growth. This thing. Okay, so this takes 2 weeks. I will see you next week. So that's it for today. Thanks for coming. Hope you have a happy weekend. I will see you again next week. All right, so take care. Have a good week and bye-bye.